The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate, fear can be paralyzing when it comes to your real estate decisions and really cost you a lot of money. Avoid that fear. It's all just ahead. It's You Have Real Estate.
Your debt does not have to control your life. You have the power to potentially lower or even eliminate your debt. I'm attorney Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life.
You Have Real Estate is proudly sponsored by Renewal by Andersen, your full-service window and door replacement company. Learn more at rbafla.com.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the way. Any questions whatsoever during the program, the phone number is right here on the screen, 407-205-0400. Wonderful show ahead for you today, but first, the opening statement. Fear. Fear is a word and a feeling that I have seen make many people make very bad decisions. The fear to buy a home, the fear to sell your home. Fear can be a very dangerous feeling when it comes to real estate, especially those of you that are still renting and you fear buying. Why, you ask? That's a wonderful question, a question that we will answer by asking real questions. Every weekend here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate market. Very happy to kick it off today from Ocala Realty World, of course, Elisha Lopez, the queen of Ocala Realty World. How are you?
Wonderful.
And for the first time on this program, you brought your king, Louis Lopez. Welcome to the show. Happy birthday. How are you?
Me. Thank you.
So first of all, I don't know why you've never been here. You got to come more. Is it because it's his birthday or what? How did this happen?
Yes, I was waiting. That was the birthday present.
I want to talk about fear for a moment from a buyer perspective, okay? So if you were around the real estate market in 2008, you saw an absolute collapse of a real estate market. People were in for foreclosure. My law firm handled 20,000 foreclosures, okay? But what I see out there is people who have been renting their whole lives fear buying. Well, I don't have 12 months of mortgage payments backed up, or I don't have 6 months of mortgage payments in case I lose my job. This fear is actually a mistake, and let me explain why. In Florida, if you are a renter, okay, and you lose your job, you run out of money, how can they kick you out? How can the landlord evict you? Very quickly, all right? 30 days, 14 days, you could be out of that house as a renter. And now we're never planning on not having money, okay? But that is our fear. Our fear about buying is not having enough money to pay the mortgage. What happens if you buy a house and you have a mortgage and the proverbial you know what hits the fan and you run out of money? What happens then? Well, the bank's got to foreclose on you. You might hire someone like me. Now we're a year, 2 years later down the road where hopefully you've gotten a chance to get back on your feet. Yeah. And now you're way more safe owning a house than you are renting a house here in Florida in case that what you're fearing actually happens, where you run out of money. So I think buying is actually a way more safe way for families to live. It's a more safe way. But then also, Louis, we talk about the listing side of things, sellers. Right. They fear selling their home. Why do they have fear? What is their hesitation to sell?
Well, most of the time their hesitation is, I'm not going to make enough money. The market is going to turn around. It's going to be like 2 or 3 years ago. That's what I see. That's their fear that they're leaving money back on the table.
That can be a dangerous fear, I think, as well. When you have that fear that paralyzes you, it can really cost you a lot of money in the long run as well. Why is that?
Well, nobody can predict what happens tomorrow. We can go either the positive way or we can go even the negative way. So now with the buyers and buyers holding out because they don't know what's going to happen in July, They are really risking their bottom line.
Yeah. And we love Ocala. We love really all of Marion County. We've told you many times that if you feel priced out in the Orlando area, look at Ocala because the prices are way cheaper up there. But then again, there are other agents, other brokers in the Ocala area as well. There's only one place we would turn. That's Ocala Realty World. There's a QR code on the screen right now, actually. If you're looking at buying a home in Marion County, take out your phone, scan the QR code, and they will send you listings as they come up on the market. Or if you're looking to sell your home, do me a favor. Don't just trust Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com. Those places are not going to give you accurate information of what your home is worth. If you scan the QR code right here, Louis and Elisha will tell you. They'll come see your house. They'll tell you, okay, this is what it could actually sell for. And that is important too. Like, you want to know what your house is worth. And these Zillows and they don't know anything about your house, right? Well, why is it important to have you come out and really give me an accurate information about what my house is worth?
So back in the day, you couldn't find that information online. And so now that it's available for everyone to look at, it doesn't mean that it's accurate. It's just, a system pulling out numbers. But when you have someone that's local with a lot of experience that could really fine tune all that data to give them an accurate estimate of what it can sell for. And that's super important because that's their bottom line.
Yeah, I totally agree. So let's say I live in Ocala, all right? And I am ready to sell my home. There are other agents out there. I know what the best agent is because I've known you guys for a long time. I've seen the work you do. But why should I choose Ocala Realty World to list my home?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think expertise, we got no complaints at all. We're very transparent. We tell the seller exactly what it's going to be worth, and we bring that bottom line at the closing table.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, can overpromise at times and underdeliver, which I think is the opposite of your strategy.
You're absolutely right. Well, everything comes, skills is everything. So a lot of the agents, they go into your house and it's $600,000, and they come in and say, you know what, I can get you $695.
Yeah.
It's an old trick that they try to trick you so you can sign, and then 4 or 5 weeks down the line, they start bidding you down on price. The seller's upset. Now they really don't trust realtors, and that's an old tricks that agents that don't have skills, they use a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Well said. Happy birthday. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming to visit us. Always great to see you, Elisha. You got it. Do yourself a favor today, please. QR code on the screen right now. Investing in real estate, Ocala. Buying real estate, you don't feel like you can afford it here? Ocala. Or if you live in Ocala and you're looking to sell your home, there's no better place to turn than Ocala Realty World. I want to continue talking about fear because a lot of you fear buying a house because you fear sitting at that closing table with all of those documents. You fear being overwhelmed. Why should you not fear the closing table as You Have Real Estate continues? Do you have allergies? Do your children have allergies? Well, at least you know in your home you are safe from allergies, right? No, you're not. The windows in your home can be giving allergies a major boost to your family, and this is very scary. Dan Brigman's here, Renewal by Anderson. You think when you're in your house, you're safe from all this outdoor stuff. But you're not.
You're absolutely right. You think so, but what we've learned is as the season gets warmer and these allergies start to come out, what also happens is our AC runs a lot more, right? When your AC runs, remember, there's a return in the house. It's sucking air from somewhere. If you have broken seals in your window, that pollen, those allergenic, anything can be pulled through there, and the more that AC is running, the more those allergies that are coming into your home, and therefore you're waking up stuffed up.
Get your windows checked out. QR code is on the screen right now. You talk about AC, though. When I hear my AC running, I immediately think my electricity bill. Oh, my gosh, it's that time of year where I have to pay a ton of money to my electricity bill. Windows, though, contribute to that bill as well. 100%.
It's time to put a stop to the high energy bills. You have to. And there's a lot of other reasons to make the investment, but that's one of the biggest ones. What will happen is when you replace these windows, which equate to about 25% of the square foot of your home, that's a lot of glass. That's one whole wall of the house. All of that sun beating in, and on even the chilly days, that heat that you have inside going out, that will reduce your energy bill somewhere between the neighborhood of 20 and 30%. In most cases, will reduce that payment enough to pay for the windows themselves.
I love it, Dan. Thank you. Great job as always. Do yourself a favor. Check out your windows today with Renewal by Andersen. Welcome back to the show, and thanks to our wonderful friends at Universal Roof and Contracting. They let us go out on the street and visit your community. Viv's in your neighborhood today in a wonderful place. Great place to raise kids. Winter Springs.
I'm in Winter Springs, Florida, just northeast of Orlando. It was established in 1959 and dubbed North Orlando by its residents. The city's goals are to prioritize the safety, education, and the quality of life of its residents. I'm in Central Winds Park, and Winter Springs is known for its award-winning parks and facilities offering recreational opportunities for all ages. The community is intent on preserving the natural trees and waterways that surround this beautiful city. With access to Cross Seminole Trail and Tuscarora Golf Course, there are many opportunities to enjoy life outdoors. Because Central Florida has so many lakes, it also comes with its share of gators. Black Hammock Park, which is technically in Oviedo, has frontage on Lake Jessup, which is shared with Winter Springs, and may be one of those lakes to avoid swimming in, but awesome for airboat tours and enjoying the cool evening breeze as you savor some gator bites with your favorite libation. I heard it tastes like chicken. The median household income is around $80,000, and the median home value in 2023 was $442,000. Many families moved to Winter Springs for its sought-after school district and numerous suburban communities that front Tuscarora Road, which dissects most of Winter Springs. Easy access to 417 and major roadways make it an easy commute to downtown Orlando. If you'd like more information on Winter Springs, contact me, Vivian Lehman, at 407-205-0400.
Thank you so much, Vivian. That was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. I had people honestly harassing me. That's bullying. Sorry. Bullying me over here. Vivian did a great job. Obviously, I'm the problem here. So happy to be joined by very good friends of the show. Mary Mula is here. How are you, Mary? Good to see you.
Great, thank you.
And Sarah Doyer. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you?
Thank you.
We were talking about fear before. And a lot of people, who certainly who have not bought a house before, have fears about, well, I don't know, maybe someone's grandmother had a title issue and now they're going to come after me and take my house, and I'm scared of that. I have fear of that. What can we do, Mary, to make sure that does not happen?
That's simple. The answer is just to make sure you have a good owner's title policy. So close with a reputable title company and make sure that owner's policy is in place. It's a one-time fee, it's not expensive, and it will cover you for anything prior to the purchase of the house.
You're in the title business. Sarah, you were in the real estate business, but you had a perfect line about title before the show. What did you say?
Title insurance protects you from everything that has happened to the home prior to you purchasing it, where all other insurances insure you for what could happen.
Yeah, I haven't actually heard it described like that, but it is a perfect description of what title insurance really does. And again, it's reason not to fear buying a home. You work with a lot of buyers and sellers, of course, but let's talk about your buyers right now. What are the fears of your buyers, especially first-time home buyers right now?
Interest rates, prices of homes. I think that everybody is watching what's going on, and we're all anticipating some change coming up. So I think it's fear of the unknown.
Yeah. What do you see happening with prices in Central Florida the rest of this year?
I personally have been seeing price decreases.
Yeah.
Things are sitting on the market longer. So it is having sellers answer to what the market conditions currently are.
And Mary, you're not just in the title world. You've kind of done it all when it comes to real estate. And one of my fears, actually, for the buyers that are sitting on the sidelines right now saying, well, I'll wait till the interest rates come down, or I'll wait till the prices come down. I worry about an influx of buyers at that point. And when all of these buyers come out of the woodwork, it's going to be maybe not such a good time to buy.
It's not, because as you know, once there's an influx of buyers, then the prices tend to start inching up. And it's going to be like a perfect storm, really, because we're going to have way too many buyers, not enough sellers, and it's going to be a not comfortable situation for first-time home buyers.
Yeah, 3 years ago, before the pandemic, before this price explosion, we would always say, look, you don't want to list your house too high because it's going to get stale. over the last couple of years, it's been very tough for listing agents to have that conversation with sellers because a lot of times the sellers were right. They're like, you know what, let's list it too high, and the market was going up so quickly. It's become a more difficult conversation again. When you're working with the seller and they want to list it too high, what do you tell them?
Well, I strongly encourage them to not do that in this current market. We are seeing homes sit on the market like in a typical season, 30 to 60 days. So if you're starting high, typically you're not going to get what you're asking for, or you're going to have to give and take. I mean, the buyers are now needing closing costs because everything is so expensive.
Yeah. And I think that leads me to my next point, too, because, again, as the market skyrocketed during COVID, we had 30, 40 people who would look at a home within a day or two. I mean, we would sometimes have 30, 40 offers on one single listing. It was incredible. So buyers were very hesitant to ask for any concessions whatsoever. I feel like that's changed a little bit right now. How are we looking in the buyer concession world?
2 years ago, we were writing offers and at the buyer's direction to no inspection periods, no appraisals, $50,000 over asking. You're in a competitive market where there's 25 offers on a given home, that at least that's affordable. So now we're in the market of, the interest rates have been high for at least about a good year now. So I think people are starting to come out of the woodworks to say, okay, well, I'm not going to wait any longer. I really need to get a house because the rental market has increased. So there's a little give and take from both buyers and sellers right now.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about fear all show. A lot of people, when they're buying a house, especially their first one, fear sitting at that closing table. And I don't blame them in some ways because you have a title agent sitting there who's going to get paid if everyone signs, a real estate agent or two that's going to get paid once everyone signs, a mortgage guy who's going to get paid once the buyer signs, and everyone is almost there staring at the buyer saying, all right, sign here because now everyone's going to get paid. So it can be an intimidating place for a buyer. A pretty big stack of paperwork for the buyer to sign. It can be intimidating, but I think there are things that the buyer can do and really should know about not being scared. What is your advice for a buyer as they sit at that closing table?
Well, my first advice is use a professional. Everybody involved in the transaction, your lender, your real estate agents, your inspectors, everybody should be a professional, and that will make you feel much more comfortable when you get to the closing table. And if you feel like you need to see every piece of paper, ask for them in advance, look them over in advance, so that you don't feel uncomfortable sitting there at the table.
Yeah, how important is that relationship between buyer's agent and buyer? When you're working with the buyer, to get those documents in advance and say, look, read them and feel free to ask me anything. How do you deal with your buyers when it comes to that?
Technically, they're supposed to have everything 3 days before closing.
Yeah.
And to be very honest, in a perfect world, sometimes that doesn't happen. So I think it's important to take a step back, ask the questions. If you don't know, that's okay. There's always resources around you that do.
Yeah.
And you want to know what you're signing before you purchase the biggest investment of your life.
Yeah, and really that settlement statement can be confusing, even to us sometimes.
Yes,
We're confused by it, so you can understand why a buyer, especially first-time home buyer, would be confused. Sarah, Mary, what a pleasure it was to have you on. I love the matching blue, by the way. I love it. If I would have worn it, you could have called me in advance. We could have, all done that.
Next time.
Speaking of this market, look, we've heard the news. Rates have been way up, then they went down a little bit. What is going on with mortgage rates in this current real estate market? Dallas Lehman will answer that just ahead on You Have Real Estate. 2023 has come and gone. I know on your list of things to do was get my roof inspected. You see leaks coming in, or your roof has just gotten old. 2024 is the year to do that. One place to turn is my good friends at Universal Roof and Contracting, joined by Justin and Corey. Happy New Year, guys. Good to see you.
You too. Thanks for having
You
us.
did my roof last year, and they did such a great job. QR code is here on the screen, by the way. If you have any roof leaking, or if your roof is old, you need to have someone look at it today. You're not just roofers, you're general contractors, which really saved the day on my house. What difference does that make?
A huge difference. It makes us a one-stop shop. If there's anything on a structural level or anything beyond the roof line that needs to be handled as a point of doing the roof, we can actually handle that circumstance in real time with real solutions and not have you to take back over and get other GCs involved to handle that. So really it just makes us very versatile, and it allows us to open up a huge book of services to make sure all your best needs are met.
A lot of roofing companies gone out of business, getting bought up right now, and they're doing that because when they get the phone call, they literally don't go to the person's house. They get an aerial photo of the roof, and they call up and say, okay, we're going to put a new roof on. Not your strategy at all.
Not at all. It just happened yesterday with me. Yeah, the homeowner was surprised I showed up, and I'm glad I did, because there were so many little intricacies about the roof that had to be addressed to make a proper scope of work. So we're big believers in showing up, doing a proper inspection, making sure that we're going to address everything so there's no surprises on the back end.
With my house, we were able to file an insurance claim thanks to you guys, really. You helped me through that process. Sometimes you can't file an insurance claim. For the people who have to pay, you have payment plans available that make it really simple.
Absolutely. Financing is a real thing out there. It's a useful tool. It's a way for us to not only get your roof done, completed, but you can defer all your money issues until the next year, and then we can still get your roof done in real time.
Thank you guys for all you did for me, all you've done for our audience here. Do yourself a favor, check out Universal Roof and Contracting right now. And a final segment today, we talk about interest rates because a lot of us have feared interest rates going up. In fact, over the last couple of years, they have. In fact, Dallas Lehman is here. A lot of people mad at you for these rates, Dal.
Well, they shouldn't be.
It's not your fault?
It's not my fault yet.
Oh, I thought you were the reserve or whatever.
We're still in a good place.
Where are we with rates now? Because it seems like every day I read another article. They're up, they're down, they're here. I don't know. I honestly don't know where we are with rates right now.
The way people usually find out where we are in rates is they Google it. They want to see a national average. So if you come to somebody like me, I'm going to tell you exactly where we're at. But let's go, where are we today? Let's look at an FHA loan all the way up to a 30-year fix. So that range today would probably be 5.875 all the way up to 7.25%. In that range right now as we speak.
Yeah. Do people still do these ARMs that I used to hear about all the time?
Adjustable rate mortgages are good. Yes, very good. No, this is a good time for them. That's a great time to bring it up. But the answer is no, they're not as popular right now. And I'd like to sort of clear up a little bit of a misconception. People generically say, well, rates are high. If you look back and you look at the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac average over the course of time since they've been keeping them, that average is right at about 7.875 to 8%. That's the average. A normal rate in that time frame, or right now, normal rates would usually be about 6.5%. So there's sort of an unfounded fear. I tell people, don't buy into the hype. This is the bad time to do that. Many people are still moving here from out of state, and they are closing. We are closing people all the time. They're not worried by it. Nobody's worried by it. Don't want to use the cliche, but it's a very good one. Marry the home and date the rate.
That's right.
Everybody says that there's no more better truth than that right now. If you love that home, don't be afraid to buy it, because you can always change that rate with a refinance later.
Whether you're a buyer's agent or a mortgage broker such as yourself, you're hearing this a lot right now, and it's this. Oh no, I'm not buying right now. I'm not going to buy with a rate like that. Makes me a little bit nervous, because now we've got people out there renting, paying exorbitant rents to landlords, when there is a solution. I mean, even if you get a rate right now, isn't it okay to refinance down the road?
Absolutely, Justin. And here's the way I try to help people to understand this in a better way. The bottom line is, if you get into a home today, you're going to start building equity. And if you wait, let's just say you waited a year, in that year that you bought the home, you're going to get on average 3 to 7% appreciation in equity on what you purchased this year. If you wait for that year, conversely, let's look at what you paid in rent. And I think a good national average for paying for rent for a year is anywhere between $25,000 and $30,000 that you are throwing away at 100% interest that you'll never see again, versus buying a home, capturing that money, and starting your own nest egg for personal wealth.
Yeah, questions about a mortgage rates, you want to get pre-approved, this is your man right here, 407-205-0400. This is going to be a complicated question. How difficult is it to qualify for a mortgage now?
Everybody's different. Yeah. The answer is, how hard is it? Some people are saying, well, first-time home buyers, some of them are a little challenged right now because rates they think are a little bit high. If you work with somebody, for example, if I sit down with somebody, the first thing I like to do is analyze their big picture to help them get that answer. I look at their credit card debt. I say, maybe if we pay some of this down, maybe if we do this, maybe if we do that. So it's not as challenging as it may be. There's always a solution. That's the thing. People will go into that realm of fear, and fear is not the way to operate on anything at any time. Fear can be paralyzing, but fear can be motivational. And either way you look at it, it's a good time to start really getting into it, no matter what you think you qualify for, by saying, let's sit down and see what I really do qualify for.
Yeah. If I want to go to Publix and buy eggs, I don't really prepare for that very much. I go to Publix and buy the eggs, right? If I'm preparing to buy a house, though, what kind of preparation should I do? When should I call you? Is it, scrambling around, I already have a contract, or should I do this kind of thing in advance?
Always in advance. We want to get everything we possibly can up front. You say buying eggs, you just go in and buy it. When you organize to buy or get pre-qualified, I'm going to tell you how to do the most basic things to get you ready to buy that home. And again, it's not as big a deal as people think it is. We want to alleviate that fear. We want to get on a comfort level, and we want to get on a plan to help you get into that home.
Yeah, Dallas Lehman, You Have Mortgage, great job as always. Check him out, 407-205-0400. And he's right. Look, even if you're thinking, I might buy a house next year, I might buy a house later this year, now's a good time to call. Let's see what work you need to do on your credit, on your family's credit, to get you to qualify, where you're not scrambling around, losing your escrow down the road when you find out you cannot qualify. Thank you to our amazing guest today. And to you, don't fear. This real estate stuff, it's not too complicated. We're going to be okay. Amazing job, Dallas. Thank you. Thank you to our crew. Most importantly, thank you. See you again next week for more You Have Real Estate. Welcome back to our house. Or do you want to welcome?
Welcome back to our home.
Last time you were here, if you remember, we had installed a brand new Duquesne system. Our friends from Old Dash sent it over. I love it. But your only concern, of course, was you were hot. She was so hot she couldn't take it.
In Florida.
You thought she was going to melt. My concern was the energy efficiency. I wanted to make sure our electric bill went down. Well, now I think the proof is in the pudding. I'm so impressed. Let's see how we've done. All right, so we're in our real house, by the way, I want to be clear. And we have a real Duquesne Lynx inverter heat pump system, and the amount of money we're saving per month, unbelievable. How are we doing? We have it right here. These are the real bills. You tell me.
It's crazy to think that we've gone from $300 down to $140. I'm sure you like that.
I love it. It made it all worthwhile for sure.
In the last 3 months of consumption with the old AC unit, we consumed an average of 1,300 kilowatts, while with the new Duquesne Lynx unit, we consumed an average of 886 kilowatts, 33% less.
Unbelievable. Now, if you look at it though by saving money, which is what I'm really looking at, we're down like $100-something bucks a month. This is unbelievable. As you can see, Duquesne Lynx is the right choice. This unit has quick link inverter technologies, high efficiency 18 SEER, and quiet operation, which I love. Want to know more about Duquesne Lynx? Visit the website on the screen right now or visit them on Facebook.
Thanks for stopping by our house again.
And thank you to Duquesne for saving me money. You need to check them out today.
I'm attorney Justin Clark. If you're worried about your student loan payments restarting, call me now or visit youhavepower.com.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.